Hello and welcome to The Lounge Show. This is Rudranil with your weekly dose of art, films, fashion, gadgets and more. Here's what's on the show today. Connect to the Kinect. Microsoft gives you a peek into the future. India's pantheon of mythical animals get a graphic makeover. Fashion icon Tom Ford brings his brand to India. A solo show that explores the boundaries of art. And the new Imran Khan Deepika Padukone starrer Break Ke Bhad reviewed. It's the latest rage in gaming, motion control sensors that translate to action on the screen. Nintendo offers the Wii, Sony has its PlayStation Move, but Microsoft has just upped the stakes with Kinect. Now this device just wipes the slate clean. No buttons, no handheld controllers, no joysticks, just your body. This is what motion control is all about. Remember Tom Cruise in Minority Report? Well, the future is here.
Today, actually we remove the last barrier between you and the machine, between people and gaming.
Wow.
Okay? And the controllers that you had with people sitting, the geeks sitting with controllers, etc., actually gets taken away and your body becomes the controller. So if you see a ball, you kick it. You know, if you see someone dancing, you dance.
Sure.
Okay, if you see a hurdle, you jump over it. Okay, and so there's this your whole body in that sense becomes the controller.
I'm here at the launch of Microsoft's Kinect, a new device for the Xbox 360 that frankly makes the Nintendo Wii and Sony PlayStation look like remnants from the distant past. It's all a bit unbelievable. When Kinect, formerly Project Natal, was first announced 2 years ago, few thought it would live up to its claim. Full body tracking and motion sensing and the complete absence of buttons or a controller. And yet, here it is, in the flesh, available in stores. This is scarily futuristic technology, the way a movie like Minority Report is futuristic. Even Microsoft talks about its own product in vague science fiction language.
What we're rapidly moving towards actually in our man-machine interface is NUI, or natural user interface. So there, it goes beyond the sensory or the tactical approach to dealing with machines, but going beyond to where the machine actually anticipates your intent, knows what your environment is, and what your relationships are. And you can actually use gestures to control and talk to machines.
Now that sounds distinctly Kraftwerkian, and the Kinect has that effect on people. It's a tiny sensor at Rs 9,990 that sits next to your Xbox 360. It can track up to 2 people at a time and does fancy pants stuff like voice and face recognition. The tracking is remarkably accurate and the game's pleasingly well designed. A game of table tennis, for example, is immediately intuitive, and the Kinect is actually the first age-agnostic video game device. Anyone, like the sales pitches claim, can jump in and play, a fact supported by the kind of games available at launch.
These games are across genres, they are across age groups. In fact, at launch, we're going to have 11 games right at launch.
Wow.
And that's not all. 75% of the world's game developers, Ubisoft, Electronic Arts, and Sony, MTV, all the big guys are actually developing games for Kinect. And by the way, each game costs, it's a very reasonably priced at $19,990.
Now, I'd be really surprised if rival Sony are actually making a Kinect game, but they, like the rest of the world, owe it to themselves to check this out. It's not often you get this clear a glimpse into the possible future of computing and entertainment.
From the futuristic to the traditional, but with a twist, Mumbai-based graphic art studio Design Temple has put together a unique show where iconic animals from Indian mythology have been interpreted by leading graphic artists from around the world. The show is called Mania, and it tries to bring to light the plight of endangered animals through art. A vulture casts a black shadow on the gallery floor. The Eastern Imperial Eagle fixes a stern eye on a motif that reads, "In Garuda we trust." These and 9 other animals revered in Indian mythology are depicted in bright, peppy graphic form in Mania.
All the designers who worked on it have been given a research board on their animal and their significance in our mythology. Everyone was given that. Okay. So what is the animal, what are the characteristics, and the attempt is also to build basically an emotion with the animal and the viewer. So you're not just looking at, let's say, a crocodile, you're looking at the gharial who has a meaning, and you build a connect with that, something that's a little bit deeper that you connect with in an emotional way, because that we feel that aids preservation.
The show brings together artists from India, Argentina, Japan, the United States and Sweden. Argentinian artist Christian Montenegro, for example, chose to depict both the gharial and the star turtle in unique ways.
The crocodile is basically the Vahan of Ganga, and what that's trying to suppress, or what it stands for, is to go through the journey of life without getting carried away by all the illusions around you. So if you see what we've drawn, what he's drawn, is really the gharial cutting through life.
Beyond the gallery exhibit, Design Temple has worked to reproduce the show's art in notebooks, planners, flashcards and yes, tiger rugs. Animania is showing at Gallery B&B in Mumbai till 28 November before moving to Delhi at the Lodi Gardens restaurant from 4th to 7th December. Now Vijay Pasi ongoing show at the 7 Art Limited Gallery in New Delhi, called A Pair of Lungs, A Lack of Faith, seems to be questioning the very idea of art. If you get the feeling that the photographs, paintings and one installation on display are not exactly works of art, you're not alone. The artist agrees with you.
Artist Vijay Pasi is emphatic that he does not create art. He only makes these attempts.
So right now, all I can do is create these attempts. If they're going to stick or if they're going to be relevant, it's not up to me.
And he has a very practical reason for being partial to photography.
Well, mainly because it's cheap, it's digital, you can work as much as you can. You can work with everything that's around you, so you don't need to buy material.
Most of his works seem to happen by chance. Take, for instance, Black Spring.
Well, Black Spring, it's a photograph of a tattoo a friend of mine made on his chest, his own chest, and it was done with one of my designs.
He created the photographic installation work titled Soraya while he was still a student in art school.
It was just me and a couple of friends in this huge warehouse. We had complete freedom and very crazy objects, very just unusual, like these pianos. Just trying to do work, trying to see what works.
For Pasi art is about trying, about the process of creating, which enriches the creator. It also looks like an understated gesture that nonetheless is grand in a way.
Born to an Indian father and a Brazilian mother, Pachilam grew up in Brazil and is currently studying in Stockholm, Sweden. Now from art to the art of fashion, and this is a man who put both Gucci and Yves Saint Laurent back on the fashion map and has dressed everyone from Brad Pitt to Johnny Depp. So when American fashion designer and now filmmaker Tom Ford's flagship store opens in India, it's time for a visit.
Power suits with signature palettes, handcrafted shoes, luggage, eyewear, colognes, all stocked in the newest luxury menswear store in New Delhi. US-based fashion designer Tom Ford, who is credited with turning around the fortunes of Gucci, left the Italian fashion giants to begin his eponymous line. The flagship store at the DLF Emporio Mall in the city has been conceived by Ford himself and designed by his longtime associate William Sofield. Ritesh Kuman of DS Sons, the company that brought Tom Ford to India, swears by the brand.
As for design elements are concerned, the peak lapels are his kind of signature. So if most of his suits are with peak lapel, and more than anything, it's the fit of the suit, which you wear it, and once you wear it, you will realize what is the difference between a Tom Ford suit and what is the difference between all the other brands.
Brand Tom Ford, which was created in April 2005, plans to expand in India in a big way. By next year, the stores will hit the remaining metros.
Now Imran Khan is back doing what he does best, a romantic comedy that also stars Deepika Padukone called Break Ke Bhad, a movie that deals with a young couple struggling with the relationship as they grow up and their ambitions and interests start pulling them apart. Sanjukta Sharma has this review.
2011 is the year when Mumbai's filmmakers embraced the Hollywood style of romantic comedies completely. But going by all the movies we've seen so far, they have not mastered the genre yet. In fact, they are far from it. The latest film, Break Ke Baad, directed by Danish Aslam and produced by Kunal Kohli, is just one of the examples. Starring Imran Khan, who plays Abhay, and Deepika Padukone, who plays Alia, Break Ke Baad is about two childhood sweethearts and their relationship through a span of more than a decade. Locations and fortunes change, and so does their relationship. To begin with, both characters are believable. The writers give them some distinctiveness, but progressively the lead pair and even the other characters in the film turn into overblown urban stereotypes.
एक साल के ब्रेक से कुछ नहीं होगा यार।
ये ब्रेक कहाँ से आया? ये एक रिलेशनशिप है, कोई जॉब नहीं है जिससे तुम कैजुअल लीव ले रही हो।
Alia is impetuous and unconventional just because she binge drinks, smokes cigars and dreams of becoming an actress. Abhay, on the other hand, is stable, steadfast, and who of course becomes progressively dull and predictable. There are no choreographed songs in the movie, just one of the ways in which the director retains a kind of contrived realism throughout the movie. Most scenes, especially those meant to be humorous, come across as trite, barring those which involve a divorced aunt played by Lilette Dubé who spouts one-liners about love and seduction. The writer and the director are too caught up with how the characters should appear rather than by their circumstances. There's a calculated cool about Break Ke Baad that's also its undoing. The performances, especially by Deepika Padukone, saved the film from becoming a complete disaster. As an actor, she has improved over the last few films and she makes Alia believable. Imran Khan is too conscious of his appearance. There's a pouty smirk on his face through euphoria and rejection, and he makes the few transitions there are in his character seem awkward. Overall, Break Ke Baad is a dull and predictable film. Urban Indian rom-coms are yet to smack of any real truth.
That's all on this edition of The Lounge Show. See you next week.